Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios and the Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Pat Chamberlain.
Hey now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com, and I am joined once again by my co-host and colleague, Mr. Patrick Chamberlain, attorney at law, wearing the uniform tonight, so to speak. And we have some guests with us tonight as well. Nimish and Mike from Rocky Patel are with us. This kind of came together last minute, and it's also Thursday night. I know we normally go Wednesday nights, but we had a scheduling thing that happened first, and then we found out that our awesome guests that we know and love so much from the business were actually available to come on tonight. And so everything just kind of fell into place. So I know that this might be strange for our regular viewers. It's a different night, not to confuse you. It is Thursday. It's not Wednesday. You didn't look at the calendar the wrong way today. I promise you didn't miss anything. But we're here, as always, putting on the show and getting it to production, as always. Gentlemen, good evening. How are we? You guys are all together in the state of New Hampshire.
We're doing well. Matt, I would definitely not give up your day job because you were singing there in the background. And the consensus is we were not impressed.
You shot out the window, actually.
Keep your day job, buddy.
My cigar went out.
Yeah, it's a good thing that the audience doesn't hear that. You guys hear that audio, but they don't. So it's a good thing that they didn't have to hear that, But sometimes I get lost in the sounds, It's just, it hits you.
But you could be hired if someone wants to get rid of their significant other. Just have you come over to the house and sing.
Oh man, I didn't know you were such a comedian, Nimish. This is Rocky did the comedy thing a few times, I think.
Yeah, not so good, I think.
He wasn't bad. I thought his thing was funny, but now that we're here and you've started to speak, I think maybe next time you should represent Rocky Patel, and maybe Rocky Patel should maybe. I don't know. I mean, I got this feeling you might be better with the crowd. I don't know. I mean, Rocky I thought was funny. Hey, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. You might have.
I think all those. Listen, first of all, every gentleman who went up on that stage and did what they did is impressive because it takes a lot to do something outside your comfort zone. And I think
hands down, I agree. Yeah. I like this space because I can say that shit here, but this is my space, Going on stage in front of a bunch of people, no, I don't, no. No, I totally agree. I couldn't do it. So that's why I stick to here, because it's easier, There's no one in front of me. It's just, it's nice. But anyway, it's great to see you guys. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a fun night. We're smoking Rocky Patel. Pat is here as well. Good to see you, Pat. Before we start off with our intro segments, I have to ask Pat, this is the new thing, any gripes of the week? Anything grinding your gears? Are you feeling okay? You happy? You angry? You want to get it out?
I spilled my coffee 2 days ago.
Oh, here we go.
I was pretty pissed about it. One of my shoes. That's about it. That's the only gripe I have.
And then you had to walk into the courtroom in front of everybody, and you were covered in coffee? Was that it?
The shoes were. I had an awkward squeak when I was walking for the morning court session. So
he has a big void in his life right now. The Karen Reed trial's over. He doesn't even know what to do with himself.
Oh, we griped about that last week.
We did a whole show on that last week. I was like, all right, I'm going to give you the opportunity to have an audience and be like, just give us, because I know you have so much to say. And he did. So, and he was good.
Don't worry, man. I don't You'll be good.
He thinks she's guilty. I think she's not guilty, but it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's not my life, but you know what? At least, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
The thing that's sad for all of us should be the fact that a really good man, a good police officer passed away, and nobody's ever going to be held accountable for it. So,
100%. I agree with that. I agree with that.
I have a soft spot there because he's a brother officer, and he's not with us, and something happened that we don't know about.
It's true. I think and I will say this, not to like bring in that whole thing again. I think something happened to him. I don't think that it was an accident. Unfortunately, I don't know. I with the evidence I saw, something happened to that guy, and it's unfortunate. I agree. Do I think she did it? I don't know, but someone definitely did something to him, and I agree. And I've always been high on police, military. Always have been very publicly, supportive, very supportive of those, and so and I know obviously you as well. So and we appreciate you as well, because in today's world, all I'm gonna say is in today's world, you guys don't get enough respect. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'll leave it there. But it takes courage for those jobs. I will say that it's not easy. So, but anyway, getting back to our show, Pat, I'll let you start us off. We're gonna do our cigars of the night, and then we'll go into our cut and light thing. What are you guys smoking over there?
So we're smoking the Year of the Snake right now. I'm not going to talk about it. Who am I to take that task from these gentlemen?
No, let them talk about it. I just wanted you to tee it up for them.
Yeah. So let me tell you, we're actually in New Hampshire at the Twin Shop doing a great event tonight. So if you're listening and you get a chance, come on down. We're raffling off a Conviction humidor that has a retail value of $3,000. So
$4,000
or $4,000.
It has 30 convictions in the humidor.
So we are smoking the Snake. Mike, be a gentleman. Show him the box. We're smoking the box, not your cigar. I can show him the cigar.
Mike, you're on like assistant duty tonight. They just got you in the back, like, hey.
The Snake. It has a Habano wrapper from Ecuador, a Connecticut broadleaf binder, and fillers from Honduras and Nicaragua. So the Nicaraguan tobaccos give you that power, that spice. The Honduran tobaccos by nature give you that sweetness. So it's a well-balanced, rich, medium to full-bodied cigar. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I'm enjoying it. Mike's a little biased, but Pat, be honest. Give your opinion.
I like it a lot. I thought it was going to be tough. I mean, this is different than the Year of the Dragon, right?
Yeah.
The blend's different. I really like the Year of the Dragon, and I didn't think that they were going to make one that was going to be similar to that, at least bypassing that level, but this one definitely has. It's very clean finish, nice like raisin sweetness, a little bit of a soft spice, and it's just a good cigar. It burns very well. This is probably the third one that I've had, and each time it's been a good burn, stays lit. You don't have to baby it. It doesn't burn hot. You can nub it right to the end. So overall, very good cigar.
Yeah, I liked the Dragon last year. I thought that was great. Last year was Dragon and Gold came out, the Gold label, which I really liked the Gold label, which I think was on our list.
Wasn't
I
came out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Star.
That was the year before.
Okay.
Which I'm smoking the Dark Star myself. The Dark Star Nicaragua. And great cigar. But yeah, I mean, the last couple of years, not that you guys don't, but just the last couple of years especially, you guys have just really been on a roll with some of your releases. I mean, 60 was great. The Gold label was great. This Dark Star is good. I liked the Dragon last year. Like the Conviction. I mean, it could go on. Yeah,
Angel Revere is my sweet spot. That's one of the best cigars we've ever made, in my opinion. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done really, really well the last couple of years, especially. I mean, and I don't just mean like, well, the cigars are good. The cigars are good. I feel like they've been well received in reviews and by the critics of the media. They've been getting a lot of airtime. See a lot of consumers talking about it, posting on social media. Just there's a lot of good buzz right now with the Rocky Patel brand, and that's not easy to do. As you guys know, you do this every day. So just when you're on that kind of that role with success, that's certainly something to be celebrated because it's big. And the last couple of years, I've been going to the show since 20. Every year, booth's always been busy. You guys have always had a lot going on, a lot of business. So everything just seems like it's going really well for you guys right now. So just, hats off to everything.
And
that continues
to
how well just develop.
They're doing because, we were talking about, the FDA and the federal, matters going on. And, Rocky spearheaded that battle and spent a lot of his time outside of the tobacco fields up on the hill. So the fact that his company still prosper, I mean, obviously Nimish and Nish are big parts of that. When Rocky's away doing what he needs to do, they're taking control and making sure it's going well. But it's amazing how they've not only stayed consistent through all the adversity, but have been excelling whilst Rocky's been focused on this very big issue in the industry.
Yeah.
So Matt, I do want to bring one thing to you guys. So when we first started, we were making all our cigars in Honduras, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, and those cigars were more on the mild to medium bodied side. And our legacy brands still, when you think of Edge, Vintage, Decade, they're still selling a lot of those.
Right.
But what we realized, to catch other consumers, and Nicaragua was hot about 8-10 years ago, we started our own factory in Nicaragua called Tabacusa with our partner Amilcar Perez Castro, because we weren't hitting that profile of the medium to medium fuller bodied cigars. That's really why we opened up that factory in Nicaragua, to make cigars that the other consumers that weren't smoking Rocky, because they were too mild for them. And that's why we did what we did, and we're getting a lot of home runs out of there. I mean, we're blessed.
Oh, yeah.
We're lucky to have a great partner down there. And I just want you to know, and all your listeners, that this year for 2025, Rocky Patel is not doing a price or tariff increase except on Java for a tariff increase. That's the only brand we're doing a tariff increase on, but otherwise there will be zero price or tariff increase for the year 2025 by Rocky Patel.
Well, that's bold too. I mean, because it's good thing, but it's we've seen a lot of manufacturers, including manufacturers that don't usually increase prices very often either, or too easily, bumping up prices with the tariff. So that's. I mean,
those are legit increases. You everyone right now is paying a flat, whatever their import cost is, 10% on that.
We got the increase like everybody else, and ultimately it comes down to the boss, and it was a tough decision, but ultimately Rocky wanted to do everything he could do for the retailers and the consumers, and just steadfast with what we're doing now, and eat what we have to eat, and let's see what happens with this through the end of the year. And I think it's a testament to his dedication to the industry and to the retailers that support us and the consumers that support us coming into all the shops like we're here at Twins today.
And earlier in the year, you guys did a price decrease in the vintage.
Actually,
last year, towards the end of last year. Right?
Towards the end of last year, yes.
Oh.
I think in August, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, Rocky's been around a long time. I mean, he knows this business. He's seen it, and if it's a move he can make for the business and eat that cost, I mean, just throwing it out there, when the S-chip tax went in, the Perdomos lowered their prices back in the day, and it panned out. So, sometimes, some of you guys, make these moves, and sometimes it pays off for you, too. So, it's good to hear. People obviously, any cigar that doesn't go up in price, people love to hear that. So, it's always good news.
Being out on the road as a company, our customers, our retailers, and their customers said cigars are getting priced out of the market. So we're taking a risk. Obviously, it hurts our bottom line, but we believe we can make that up in volume. So only time will tell if we made the right move or the wrong move, but we believe we did the right move.
Well, I agree with you, but and hopefully it goes your way and it all evens out. And also, the thing with the tariffs, I feel like it's changing all the time, too. I mean, I don't really follow it day to day, but, I hear things are here, and then they go away, and deals get made. So who even knows where this thing's going to be by the end of the year? I know, especially like the accessories manufacturers have been all over the place, because first China had this huge tariffs, and then like they came down or they were paused, and then they went into effect, and like then I think they worked out a deal with China, so like now they're significantly reduced. And those guys are all over the place. I think they're probably dealing with it. I don't want to say it's worse, but I mean, I feel like most of their stuff comes from China, and when I talk to them, they're like, "We're going nuts with the tariffs. We're going nuts with the tariffs." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." So
we have the same issue with remember, all our lighters come from China too, and we produce a lot of lighters. So
that's right.
With that.
I forgot about that. That's true too. Yeah, all the lighters and the cutters and all that other stuff is really going to take the brunt of those tariffs coming out of China. But everyone's feeling it. Our cigars tonight are brought to you by the number 2 guyscigars.com. That's right, the number 2 guyscigars.com. Head over there today to find an amazing and massive selection of cigars and accessories from brands you know and love, and maybe a few new ones. Head over there today, order some cigars from the number 2 guyscigars.com. And as always, cutting and lighting our cigars tonight, no one else than SD Dupont. That's right, shake up the legacy. I got my Maxi Jet right here, my single torch. This lighter is fantastic. It's compact, it's lightweight, it's easy. Keep in your pocket, in a bag, in a cigar case. It fits everywhere. It's great. I light all my cigars with SD Dupont products, and I cut them with SD Dupont cutters. Pat, do you have your monogram collection with you?
Yeah, I got my biggie right here.
There it is. Look at that. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Nothing but the best, SD Dupont. Now, let's talk about getting into the actual meat and potatoes of this show tonight. Kind of lightly touched on a few things, but PCA is already long gone. That's over and done with. And at the show, the year of the snake was one thing that you guys were showcasing. But the other thing that you were showcasing that was, I probably should say, is the main stage, right, of the booth was the Rocky Patel 30th anniversary. Which I know is available in 2 different formats, which I know we'll kind of break that down in a second. But 30 years, that's a big deal. We've been seeing a lot of big anniversaries the last couple of years from a lot of brands. You guys obviously no exception. But that cigar is obviously very meaningful for you guys as a brand. Tell us a little bit about that and the blend. I know that the blend, I think the details of the blend have been released now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Correct. I'm going to let Mike, because he really wants to talk about this cigar, so I'm going to let Mike do it. I'll handle the limited. Go ahead and handle the limited.
Yeah.
Mike, step into the batter's box, brother.
Yeah, I was on that already. So we're super excited about it. As you said, 30th anniversary, and we have a lot of tobacco from Tabacusa that Nimish already talked about, our factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. So this is a blend that has some really nice, rich Esteli Nicaraguan tobacco, just enough Honduran to balance it out, give you that nice, smooth flavor coming through. A Nicaraguan binder and a beautiful high priming San Andreas wrapper. It's really, I have my own words I use to describe it. For me, it's like, I love that. ALR, I told you, ALR is one of my favorite cigars that we make. It's got that really rich, meaty Nicaraguan, but it's smooth, it's balanced, it's got some complexity to it. And then with that San Andreas wrapper, which happens to be one of my favorite wrappers as well, it really pulls it together. We've had a limited amount that we've been able to sample. At the show we were sampling that. We had just a little bit left over to bring out in the field here as reps to go out and sample, and we've had extremely well response from it. Everybody's anticipating it coming out. We can't wait to get out there in our customers' hands. And there's only 10,000 boxes being made. So, and the breakdown is somewhere around 3,500 Toro.
No,
he knows the breakdown. I'm not the breakdown guy.
The breakdown is 2,500 6x60, 3,000 Robusto, and 4,500 Toro. That's how we broke it down. And when it's done, it is truly done. Now, the one thing I think you should do is have closed caption, because I don't know if people can understand his accent back here.
It's wicked piss of the cigar, I promise you. It's wicked piss.
And that cigar is a retail for 17, 18, 19. Mm-hmm. And now we did, on top of that, we did 10,000 cigars, 1,000 boxes of 10 of a limited cigar. And we've sold out, I think, 940 boxes. So there's not much left to sell of that at the trade show mainly. I can't tell you the blend of that because Rocky still wants to keep that one a secret. That's a special cigar. It comes in a beautiful metal tube. And the cigar is impressive. Now, it's not an inexpensive cigar. It is $37.50 retail. But I promise you, try them. You're going to love that cigar. And it is completely different than the limited 30.
We've never done, think about 1,000 boxes. That's the way I look at that. We've never done a release where it's just 1,000 boxes. So you can just imagine the very limited amount of tobacco that we had access to from our factory to be able to put the cigar together and only be able to make 1,000 10-count boxes. I'm super excited about it. We were very lucky to be able to have one together, all of us, at our company gathering that we had at the end of PCA, and I think people are going to really enjoy it. Those that get the chance to smoke it. And I just got some breaking news myself, because apparently there's 60 boxes left that I can sell, because I was told I couldn't sell anymore.
No, you can't. You sold your limit. But
shut you down.
We did an intimate thing with about 12, 13 consumers last night. Pat was there with his father, actually, which I thought was cool, and they both got to enjoy it. So I'll let Pat tell you what he thought about the cigar.
Yeah, man, I believe you smoked it too, so you can also give your feedback. But it was very good. It's so like what Mike said, like the age limited rare. It has that meatiness to it, but it has like the spice you get from the DBS, like that rich spice.
Yeah.
Very refined. It's I'd say medium plus bodied. It's not a nicotine hit. A lot of flavor. It's one of those, like, if you like a nice like malted bourbon, it's like a perfect pairing for that. Again, the construction was on point. I've had the luxury of smoking it twice, PCA sample, and then yesterday. And
you could see the difference, right? Because it was younger at the PCA.
Yeah, after the trade show, I thought it was good, but it wasn't the level it is now. So that just shows it's just getting better with age. So by the time they hit the shelf, I would imagine it's going to be even better than what we had yesterday. So
Mid-August,
we'll
have it out there.
Second to third week of August, it should be in retail shops. We're still waiting on the boxes from China, but I'm told in country around June 28th. It takes about a week to 10 days to get to us. And obviously, we got to pack it, freeze it, ship it up there. So I think second or third week of August, it should be out there in the retail shops for everybody to enjoy.
Wow. Yeah, I smoked it, and Nicole smoked it. And I remember Nicole was really excited about it, too. 'Cause she wasn't at the trade show, but I had one for her when I got back, and I remember she smoked it, and she really liked that cigar. So, yeah, and I really liked the packaging. I liked the color scheme on that. Especially, I mean, like, again, the last several releases, I mean, the Conviction, the 60, the gold label, the emerald is cool with the white and the green. Packaging wise, it's been really fun and bright and kind of eye catchy. And obviously the 30th was no exception. I really liked the design element on that. I think it's gonna stand out and make a statement on the shelf as well. But again, I always say this, packaging doesn't matter, but it does, right?
It gets you to buy it the first time, right?
Yeah.
On its own for you to buy it again.
Yeah. So, as much as some people say it's not important, some people say it's, you're right. I mean, it gets you in the door, and then the cigar, it's up to the cigar to perform on itself. But yeah, I think it looks beautiful as well. It burned great. Everything, construction, all of that. For me, I had only had some show samples, so, I haven't smoked through like a box of them, but the ones I did have, it was great. Construction was great. The flavor was there. I totally agree with, everything, Pat was saying. Can't wait to get more. It's on my list of things to buy, when they're available, and I have a running list of things we get, and that's definitely high up on that list too. So I'm really excited for us to hit the stores.
Last time we smoked it.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
We don't even have any more smoke, man. Last night was our last night.
I'm giving this to Pat for you.
Oh! Oh, wow, so generous. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, Pat, that better make it to me. If it doesn't.
No, everybody's seen it. Pat hasn't. If you don't get it, you know who to blame.
I don't know. Maybe if you the people that are watching can get a kind of good look at the nice teal, the black and gold.
That's the one thing I left out, is that teal ribbon. Again, I know it's like a small detail, but at the same time, it's not. I mean, it's a nice little pop of color, lots of black, and with that color.
He's already trying to take the cellophane off. Stop.
He's itching to cut that up. He's like, I just want to smoke this.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, Pat. What are we going to do with you?
I think it's much better than it was at the trade show. Just think of all that age that cigar's got.
Oh, yeah. And look, as a rule of thumb, Oh yeah. Am I having a nice bourbon? No, I actually wish.
You love to enjoy a nice bourbon, right?
I love.
Incredible. Not really nice. We did it with Kurt's Willet, the 9-year, which is really 10-year Willet bourbon. It was amazing. I'm a George T. Stagg guy. What an incredible pairing with that.
Me
cigar.
too. All day. When I find it, I buy it. Well,
Nice
within reason.
bourbon.
I won't pay 4 digits for that bottle, but if I find it at the right price, it is among my favorites. I really love the Stags, but yeah, and Willet's been some good stuff too. I haven't had as many of those bottles. Just I kind of stopped really getting into bourbon last year. Not that I'm not really interested anymore. It's just I have other life priorities, but Willet was always one I liked. I wish when I have time again and I'm really looking for a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Willet's been doing a lot of good stuff. So it's definitely a stash I have to build up. Is my Willet
One that
supply.
Kurt has here that we did down in Bardstown at the Willet Distillery. Try it. It's absolutely amazing. It's a unicorn.
Yeah,
It's really good.
yeah. And it's funny. There was once upon a time, very early in my bourbon days, when a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, but works at another cigar shop in New Hampshire that's very popular. No names mentioned. Very young fellow, around mine and Pat's age. He's a great guy, and he really got me into bourbon. And if you know, you know. And and I remember this one time I was hanging out at the shop, and he said, "Hey, Total Wine in Danvers has purple tops." And I said, "Oh, okay." And at the time, I didn't realize. So he was like, "After I close up, do you want to go and we can each get one?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, let's go." Back then, I was buying bottles left and right. And we went, and for whatever reason, I didn't really care or whatever. And and it's one each. So I got one, he got one, and then for whatever reason, I was just like, yeah, you can have this bottle, whatever. I don't really know much about it. And then, fast forward, when I learned about the Family Reserve Purple Tops, I was like, oh, shit, I had one. And I foolishly was like, yeah, no, you take this one. It's okay. I don't really drink a lot of Willet. And I was like, it's one of my biggest fumbles and regrets in bourboning, if that's a term, was giving up that Purple Top, because it's the only one I've ever encountered in the wild. So that was definitely a fuck up for me, but I regret that one. But I'm young enough. There'll be more in the future. So
There'll be other opportunities.
yeah, exactly. You can't beat yourself up too much. Year of the Snake. We talked about the 30th. The Year of the Snake's coming. You did the year.
We already talked about Snake early.
Right.
I gave the blend, everything, yeah.
Right, but the Year of the Snake, I had a question on that one. Because was the year of the I couldn't remember, and so just correct me if this is wrong or if I have it incomplete. Was the Year of the Dragon a duty-free only release? Did I have that right, or was that a full release to stores?
Explain that. What we did in the U.S., we only sold it by the Toro size.
Okay.
And in the 10-count box. What we did internationally for duty-free is a 5-pack Robusto Grande, which is 5.5, I believe, by 54 or 5 by 54. I don't remember exactly now. And that was only available in duty-frees in the U.S., but mainly internationally.
Okay.
And
that's what
sold out. And we did the same thing for the Snake.
Okay.
So that's the only difference.
Yeah, I thought I remembered something about duty-free, but then I was like, but wait a minute, the shops are getting them. That makes sense now. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting concept, too. I mean, the whole Chinese New Year releases have definitely gotten...
Exploded.
Oh, I feel like 5-6 years ago, Davidoff's been doing this for a while. There was a few others, but now, a lot of people are doing them. And, it's become kind of a regular thing. Every year, more and more manufacturers coming out with it. A Chinese New Year, the Zodiac release, and I've smoked a lot of them. A lot of them were good. Some of them were okay. I haven't had the Snake, but I've had the Dragon. The Dragon was really good. So, you guys definitely did well last year. But we'll see where that goes because it's taken off. It's really exploded, like you said, and I'm curious to see where it ends up. If it peaks and then it goes away, I don't know. We'll see. But right now, it's the thing.
Next year is Year of the Horse. We're already working on it, the packaging and the cigar. So I think people will be impressed.
For those of you in New England, he said Year of the Huss.
Yeah.
He says it weird. Matt, you smoked a snake yet?
What's that? No, I haven't smoked a snake yet.
All right, well, there you go.
There you go. Now you got
One
two
right
cigars
there,
coming
All
your
right,
way.
Pat, I'm telling you, if those don't make it to me, you're gonna know about it.
It's going to be tough for me to find a cigar to fit this band.
Nimish, one of the other things I wanted to ask you about, because I know you're on a time constraint a little bit, so I want to make sure I cover all my bases before I run out of time. One of the things, outside of cigar releases that you guys were kind of in the news for recently was the Cigar Roadshow. Now, I know you guys did that last year, and you did it with CLE, Altadis USA. It was you guys and Oliva. And I believe it's the same group of manufacturers again this year, and you guys are hitting the road again. So I think some people are still not completely familiar with it. Talk to us a little bit about what the roadshow is and what people can really expect out of that.
Well, we first actually did it in 2020 when the trade show was actually closed that year due to COVID. And we sat in our offices and we're like, we got some big numbers to hit in July and August. How the heck are we going to hit them? Things were opening up a little bit at that time. And we did this traveling roadshow. But that year it was Rocky Patel, Oliva, Alec Bradley, and Crown Heads. And the response was amazing because people were stuck in their homes. They wanted to get out and hang out with people and have a great time. And that's what we did. And then we realized that we've always got these numbers to hit in July and August and September, right? So we redid it. We started it back up last year, I believe, was the second year. And this year we're doing it again. It starts July 21st at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale. And it's only for retailers. And then we're also doing the Hard Rock in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember where else we're at, but it basically goes from July 21st to August 15th or 16th. And we want to get out there because we believe in this industry. We're 100% into PCA. We're not trying to close PCA. We want it to be there forever. It is the main trade show. But now this gives them buying opportunity for our retailers to buy some cigars, hang out, smoke the new stuff we're going to be displaying there. And it's a festive atmosphere. So people come, hang out, have a good time, eat some food, drink some cocktails, smoke some great cigars. And instead of these reps going on doing summer deals and taking 3 or 4 weeks to get to them, they take care of all their customers in 1 or 2 days. So
it's a nice connection to the mothership for the retailers too, because not every retailer can take the time and the money to go head out to PCA. So this gives them an opportunity. If they can't, we try to strategize these locations to be where we can hit the majority of our retailers to a point where they can drive there and they can, interact with Nimish and Nish and, the reps that they have and really just have the time to stick together. And
this year we got 21 cities. We've added Nashville, New Orleans.
New Jersey.
No, New Jersey's been there before. Nashville and New Orleans were added on. So we're going to do 21 cities in basically 23 days or something like that. So it's a lot of hard work. It's a good thing reps have to be there at their location. We got to get around, but we put in travel dates. So last year we learned due to flights get canceled. You can't get there right away. So we tried to space it out where we could have a day between a manager being at each location. And we just want to be there and take care of our customers, give them great deals so they can pass those on to the consumer. It's a win-win situation for everybody. So,
yeah, I mean, I know what you said about the PCA. I mean, I think that it's definitely that thing stands on its own, and yeah, I agree. I mean, you want to support that, always be there.
We've heard rumors. We're trying to get rid of 100% not true. My cousin Rocky is a 100% believer in the PCA. Because the dollars it generates to fight the FDA and all other regulations and anti-smoking laws in the country. So It's very important. We do not want it to ever go away.
Yeah. No, I believe that, and I think that's true. But what I was going to add to that was, yeah, I mean, but I think that what you're doing is a good thing too, because it's not the same as the trade show. It's not a replacement for the trade show, but there is something to be said about going out on the road and going to them, spending time with them, getting FaceTime with them, and vice versa. Because, most people are in their shops all the time, so going to the trade show, if people go, might be one or two times a year they get to interact with you guys and face to face and talk with everybody and ask questions and see things or whatever. So by doing this, you're giving them like another opportunity, or anyone who maybe didn't get to go to the trade show this year for whatever reason, maybe this is an opportunity. They still get that FaceTime with you, for a day, and they get to ask questions and kick some tires and buy some things and maybe place some orders and work out some maybe issues that they have and just whatever they need, resources, whatever they need to do business in their store the rest of the year. So I think it's a great idea. I'd be curious to see, keep doing it and it's successful and it's something that the retailers are enjoying, that, if other manufacturers decide like, hey, I want to get on board with this, and
one
see
thing
it grow.
we learned during COVID, people are willing to drive 3-4 hours, right? Because they just want to get away. Didn't have to get away. So we've learned that, and I forgot one other city we added this year, San Diego. So we added 3 new sites because now people are willing to drive an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. But if it's 3-4 hours of a drive, it's too difficult. Now, we can't hit every pocket in the country, but we're getting majority, 80-90% of the country. Within an hour and a half, 2 hours of them, the ability to come if they'd like to come. So
yeah,
it's all about supporting the industry too, right? Because when you get together and you talk with our retailers, we learn from them what their consumer wants. That's what it's all. It's not just about writing business. It's how we can better our business so the consumer has a better experience and better prices and everything like that.
And what I can add to that too is, we talk about 30 years Rocky Patel. 30 years ago, Rocky was in his car, traveling the shops, selling out of the car. Like, it's a good homage to what started Rocky Patel, was by doing these types of interactions on these road shows and going to shops and spreading the word. So
it wasn't even Rocky Patel back then. It was Indian Tobacco.
Yeah, it was Indian Tobacco Cigar Company, my friends.
That's right.
I still have some old boxes that we probably got about 50, 60 boxes in our warehouse. I don't know what we're ever going to do with them. Unopened, untouched, just sitting there getting humidified and just, I'm sure, getting delicious. We'll find out one day.
A fun fact with, Kurt opened in 97. The first box of cigars he sold was Indian Tobacco.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that I've spent a lot of time in the shops around here and Kurt and Dave and talking with them, and they've told me a lot about a lot of people over the years, and because you guys have all been around for so long, and Pat and I I'm 31, so I'm still pretty young compared to you guys.
You look a lot older than 31. No. Even
Jose Blanco hasn't pulled that one on me. He may call me chubby, but he never called me old.
I just want to say one thing. I apologize. We have a lot to take care of.
Yeah.
But truly, truly appreciate what you, other podcast guys, other bloggers do. You guys are very, very important to this industry. You guys connect us with retailers, consumers, and you guys get information out there. So we truly appreciate what you and all the other podcasts and bloggers do in the industry. You guys are very critical. I don't always agree with the ratings of our cigars, but I respect the ratings. So
it's
thank
tough.
you very much for what you do. I apologize. Mike and I have to leave a little early, but
That's
I know
okay.
you're in good hands with Pat, and don't forget he's got 2 cigars for you.
That's right. They're right there in his pocket. I see them. They better, stay there.
Thank you
Thanks a lot for
very
having
much.
us, man. We really appreciate it.
And I do apologize. We have to leave a little early.
That's okay, guys. Nimish, Mike, it's great to see you guys. You guys know I love you very much. I appreciate the time. Go do what you got to do, and just thank you for being here. And we'll catch up soon.
We'll do it again soon.
Next year we should do it in our intimate setting. That would be kind of cool. He could be a part of it. Yeah. Thank you. Everybody, thank you.
Everyone.
This was our way to get Mike off the camera so the viewers can go on.
Now let them see the shadows. By the way, walking behind us is the shadow. You'll see him as he leaves.
He's the
Yeah.
bouncer.
Why are you gonna pick on Mike so much? He's such a good guy. Why are you, you know?
Thanks, Matt.
No, he's not. Mike, don't fucking up. Thank you, everybody.
You got it. Thank you, Nimish. Well, that was fun. I liked it. I like when shows like this kind of come together. It reminds me of the old days because, in the old days of the show, when it was me and Carney, the first few months of the original design or whatever you want to say, the aspect of how we did the show, which was born during COVID lockdown, so everything was remote. It was very, and it was, we were new at the time. We didn't really know how to do all this. Now I have a full studio in my home. But anyway, back then it was very off the cuff. It was very, I would sit outside and do it on the patio and hope that there wasn't rain in the next 2 hours. And Carney was at his parents' house, and then after a few months, he had to go back to work, and he was back out on the road. Work in the States where, things were open and stuff like that. And he would do the show sometimes from lounges and events and stuff like that. And it was a lot like this. And it was just different back then. And so when we do stuff like this, it just kind of makes me, think of like, oh, shit, we've been doing this for 5 years now, every week. So, and it takes me back to the early days. And, it's nice. It's nice to think about. We've come such a long way. Holy shit. I think it was even before you even worked at Twins. When did you start working at Twins?
So that's a good question. July 2020 was when I started. I started on 7/24 today here.
All right, so technically we did start the show before you worked there, but I mean it was April of 2020. So it was actually April 30th, because it was the original episode of the show was called the May Day Eve Massacre. Well, actually, no, it was the May Day Eve, and it became the massacre because the first show crashed after 37 minutes, and Carney's laptop just shit the bed. And that was, as our loyal listeners know, that was how the original episode went. Yeah, so it's interesting, man. It's just, you think back, holy shit, time really flies, man. Is that when you started law school, or did you start law school after that?
I started law school in, I think, the winter of 2021, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So because you would have, that would have made sense. So, wow, Jesus Christ, where does the time go? Seriously. Anyway, it was great to have them on. I know Rocky was on. Actually, it's been a while since Rocky was on. I thought he was on recently, but no, he was on like over a whole year ago, I think. 'Cause yeah, last time he was on, we were talking about Gold Label. Actually, I believe.
He's gonna do in September, I think. So we could try to work something out to get him. Maybe do something at the studio.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, maybe we could do something like that. I always like doing stuff like that, doing something different. But it was great to have them on, talking about some of the new releases. We're kind of in that cycle of the year right now where all the announcements have happened. We know what's out there, but now it's like, getting them into the stores and reminding people like, oh, hey, remember that announcement 2 months ago? Okay, it's coming. It's coming to the store. So, because I'll tell you, we've talked about it so many times since the trade show. I mean, there's a lot of good cigars coming out right now, at least in what we've smoked so far. If you want to add to that, I'd say hype-wise, there's a lot of stuff that's, being, really sought after and, anticipated and stuff like that as it slowly, all rolls out throughout the rest of the year. So, it's an interesting time. Everyone's kind of out there, pushing what they got, but, that's part of the deal. We got to do two things before we wrap up the show tonight. One of them is trivia. We have to do our trivia segment once again, which is arguably my least favorite part of the show. Not because of who sponsors this segment of the show, just because Pat always makes me feel dumb when I do this part of the show. But anyway, it's our trivia segment brought to you by Perdomo Cigars, featuring our 2024 Cigar of the Year, the Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sun-Grown Epicure. Fantastic cigar. And the 30th Epicure Maduro, I believe, was at 11 on the list, so both of them up on the list. And Legacy is definitely a strong contender out of a handful right now for 2025. So we'll see how it all shakes out in the end. can't get enough fluids in me. The last couple of days with the heat, man, you're lucky you work in the air conditioning. I don't have that luxury. I swear I'm heat exhausted. I've been trying to drink like a fish. Gatorade, vitamin water, regular water, but stuff with sugar and stuff in it too, and I just can't get enough. I just feel like I'm dying over here. Everything's dry. My eyes are dry, my mouth is dry. I feel it in my muscles. Oh, thank God today was not as hot. It was a nice cool breeze on my ride home today. I was like, oh my God, this feels like heaven. But I'll take it over the snow. I'll take it over the snow any day of the week. Anyway, what do you got for trivia for us this week?
So we're going to do some music theme, I think, this week.
Oh, let's see what you got up your sleeve. I don't want to assume that I'm going to get these right because I don't know what genres and stuff you're going to deal with, but music is usually strong.
I'm not great with music, but I do know the answer to this one, so it could be a fair one. Who was the first winner of American Idol?
Kelly Clarkson.
Yes. I was going to say start with an easy one and we'll kind of go from there.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Well, I'm trying to find, here we go. This one I would also know because of my gym playlist. But which rock star moonlights as a horror movie writer and director?
Rob Zombie.
Yes. Maybe
From Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Yeah. This is we'll do more than 3 today. This is probably
That's fine. That's fine.
Who is Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us about?
Drake.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that grin, Pat. You're like, shit, he's getting them all right this time.
Well, these are all not that hard. I mean,
I know. Keep going.
Prince introduced his iconic symbol on the cover of which single?
Ooh. And I like Prince a lot, too. I'm trying to remember. It was on the cover of a single? Not an album. Single.
Single.
Oh, man. That one, I'll just come right out and say I don't know that one.
I can give you a hint that's going to give it away if you know the single.
What's the hint?
It's a year.
Oh, it was 1999?
Yeah.
Oh, you know why it fucked me up? I'll tell you. Because...
I read the question.
No, I know, but... No, but you know what I was... When you said it, I was thinking of what year did he go by the symbol? When he was the artist formerly known as Prince, and he just was the symbol. But the symbol was around before that happened, and that is what messed me up. Because now that I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, the cover of 1999, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And that came out before that. As Prince in the Revolution, I believe. No, was that Prince in the Revolution, or was that just Prince? I can't remember. I think it was just Prince. But anyway, regardless, yeah, that kind of that fucked me up. Now, because now that you say it, yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm a Prince guy too. It's too bad. All right, do you have any more, or was that it?
I think let's end on a high note for you.
Oh, I mean, don't make it too easy. I mean, I'm doing, I like this.
Well, I'm gonna switch off music then, because.
Oh, what? No, come on. Yeah, because you're like, it's too good.
I'm gonna go to movies now.
All right, I can deal with that.
What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
The first feature-length animated movie. It was a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. I have like three loaded in the chamber, and I'm trying to eliminate. Because the first one I want to say, I know it was Disney who did it, But I'm just trying to remember if my first guess was a show or if it in fact was a feature film. I think it was a show. So that one I'm not even gonna mention because I think that one wouldn't be it. No, that movie came out later. Can't be that one. There's a feature movie. Can I have the year, or is that too much information?
I think they give it away.
Okay. No, that's fair. Oh, man. I know it was a Disney movie. What was the first animated movie released? Oh, man. I feel like I'm gonna go. I don't know why my mind keeps going back to the first one. Was it Steamboat Mickey?
No.
Yeah, I see.
That was a show.
That was a show, yeah. I'm like, was that a movie or was it a show? I'm like, I think it was a show. Yeah, that one's out.
There's no Mickey in it. It's not. It's
Yeah, all right. So that was it Snow White?
Yes, it was Snow White.
So I almost said that first, and I'm like, it was Snow White, and then Steamboat Mickey was in there. Steamboat Mickey was my friend, and I was like, no, but I'm pretty sure that was a show because I know that was very like beginning of Disney. And I'm like, that was a show, though. And I was like, and I hesitated. But then my next one was like Snow White. And I kept thinking Snow White. And then I was like, something tells me it wasn't Snow White, though. Like I knew it, but I hesitated. I was like, I don't know. I feel like that's what I want to say. Because I feel like that's the answer. But something's telling me it's not Snow White. Damn, I was like right there. I almost went undefeated. Actually, no, I already lost the Prince question, so there's that. But, yeah, no, I almost had that one, too. That was my second guess. Well, I mean, I still guessed it, but I didn't guess it the first time. So.
You don't look as stupid this week.
Huh?
You don't look as stupid this week.
Very fair. And on the last two, I had a lot to back up with that too. It wasn't like I threw something in the dark and I was like, oh, yeah, I was fucking wrong. I was, made sense. You're right. I did good this week. I came prepared. However, we have one more segment before we wrap up the show. It is time once again for our new segment brought to you by Micallef Cigars, featuring the new color series from Micallef Cigars, the black, blue, red, purple, with the green coming next, as teased at the PCA trade show. There's been a lot of news. I've been getting caught up on the news. I've said on Facebook, but not to everyone probably heard, but I was definitely kind of really held back the last month and a half with Anastasia's medical stuff. I had to. So I've admittedly been behind on things, but in the last week I've been slowly getting stuff back out and caught up. So there's been a lot of stuff that's out that wasn't really fresh news, but it's still relatively new. But I have a couple of different things that I'll read off. We talked about the Traveling Roadshow with Nimish and Mike when they were on, so I feel like we kind of really got into that. La Aurora has opened their new Miami distribution center that they also share with Caribbean Sunrise Spirits. That is now open and operational. Paustania has shipped their SBC 24 to retail stores. The PCA and the CAA announced a joint study of tax cap policies nationwide. Now, Pat, this is in your realm of somewhat expertise. Have you looked into this? Did you read about this at all?
I have not.
I'm curious to see. I haven't really gone into the whole thing, but I'm curious to see kind of what your takeaway, I guess, is the best word to use, from that whole thing. But the Premium Cigar Association and the Cigar Association of America announced that they are collaborating on a national study of cigar tax cap policies enacted and planned throughout the nation. PCA and CAA have commissioned Goss and Associates, led by Dr. Ernie Goss, who serves as chair in regional economics at Creighton University, to undertake the study. Dr. Goss has published more than 100 studies on economic forecasting and on statistical analysis of business and economic trends. Specifically, the study will evaluate the effectiveness of cigar tax caps as a matter of state policy, the direct and indirect economic impact of premium cigars for each state, including local, state, and federal taxes. Look, taxes is always a thing. We're always talking about it. Pat and I like to joke about the fact that we live in the great state of New Hampshire, where we have no sales or tobacco tax. High five. But I know that's not the case for all of you, and I completely know, as someone who used to live in the People's Republic of Massachusetts, I definitely know what it's like. So I do sympathize. But yeah, taxes is always a thing. You know, states have been slowly moved. Some states have slowly moved to tax caps, or at least just on premium cigars on their tobacco tax. There are a handful of other states like ours that don't have a tobacco tax, but I think they still have a sales tax. And then, you know, like we talked about earlier, we've gone into tariffs and all of that stuff that goes on too, which effectively is like a tax at the end of the day. So it adds more to the cigar cost and the price and all that. So yeah, it's interesting to see what these studies are. And even, you know, look, I know the PCA stuff gets boring sometimes, but I mean, if you're also someone who is fearful of your money, or maybe not fearful, but you know, you're very cautious with how you spend money, especially on your cigars, you should get to know some of this stuff, because as time goes on, it will only make that more difficult for you if it's not handled, you know, and fought back again. So definitely know about that stuff. Go to premiumcigars.org and get to know all of that other stuff, because you should know about it. And, you know, talk to your local tobacconist, sign up for the petitions that go out, like, you know, just, you know, be involved. You know, it's the only way that stuff goes away. But anyway, that's our show for this week. It was pretty fun. We shook it up. Pat went live on location. Something I haven't done in a long time, and I try very hard to keep it that way because I'm too comfortable in here. But no, great job. You look fantastic. It was fun to have those guys on and talk a little bit about that, and you know, glad it came together that way. That was good. Which I give credit to Pat. Pat put it together, actually. He called me. He was like, hey, I got this thing for the show. And I'm like, okay. So I'll give Pat the credit for that.
I'll take it.
I know you will. Anyway, that's our show for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to go to smokintabacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates from the cigar industry. And with that, we'll